You've been curling for months, maybe years. You've tried dumbbells, cables, preacher benches, barbell curls, yet your sleeves still feel loose. Your biceps just don't grow. And it's not because of your genetics or your age. The truth? You're probably making a handful of simple but critical mistakes. Let's break this down. Most guys walk into the gym thinking biceps are easy. Just curl heavy and go home, right? But biceps are stubborn. They're a small muscle group and they demand precision. The first mistake, you're repeating the same angles. Every single session. You curl with the elbows locked at your sides, week after week, but the biceps have two heads, and each head needs a unique angle to fire. If you're not moving your elbows behind or in front of your torso during different exercises, you're only stimulating part of the muscle. That's why, even after all those curls, your arms still look flat from the side. Now here's something most people never think about when you train biceps. If you're always hitting them last, after back day or chest or whatever, you're training them when you're already running on fumes. By the time you grab those dumbbells, you're not even capable of challenging your muscles properly. And if you're not pushing them hard, they're not going to grow, period. And speaking of pushing, let's talk about tension. You may think you're doing full reps, but if your form looks like a pendulum swinging back and forth, you're just moving weight, not building muscle. Every time you let the dumbbell drop like a rock or relax at the bottom of a rep, you're giving your biceps a break right when they should be under stress. Growth doesn't come from just moving weights, it comes from controlling them, especially on the way down. But even if you've got the angles, the timing, and the tension right, here's where most lifters fail. They stop when it hurts. When the burn starts, they back off. The problem is, that's exactly when the growth begins. Those painful last reps are what signal your body to adapt. If you never reach that point where your form is on the edge and you're grinding out the last 2 or 3 reps, you're training for maintenance, not growth. Another massive biceps killer, rushing rest. You finish your set and jump into the next one too quickly, thinking it'll keep the intensity up. But all you're doing is robbing your muscles of the strength needed to perform again. On the flip side, if you're scrolling for 5 minutes between sets, you're losing the rhythm. Real progress happens when you time your rest intentionally, not by accident. Still stuck? Here's a detail few people even mention. You're ignoring your brachialis and brachioradialis. These aren't just fancy anatomy terms. They're muscles that actually make your arms look bigger. The brachialis sits beneath the biceps and pushes it outward. The brachioradialis adds that thick, full meat bicep look. Without targeting them, especially through movements like hammer curls and reverse curls, your arms will always look underwhelming, no matter how strong your biceps are. And none of this matters if you're not applying the one rule that underpins all muscle growth: progressive overload. If you're curling the same weight for the same reps every week, you're just maintaining your current size. You've got to force your body to grow by gradually increasing the challenge. Whether that's more weight, more reps, slower negatives, or more total volume. That said, chasing progress can backfire too. Many guys overcompensate by swinging heavier and heavier weights until their curls look more like back extensions. It's called ego lifting, and it's probably the fastest way to injure yourself while building nothing. Real overload is about control, not momentum. And finally, frequency. Most people hit biceps once a week and wonder why nothing changes. The truth, that's just not enough. Muscle protein synthesis only stays elevated for a couple of days after training. After that, your biceps are just existing. Training them twice a week strategically gives your body more growth signals without overdoing volume. Now here's the twist. After preaching good form all this time, I'll tell you this: sometimes cheat reps can help. Not at the start of a set, but at the end, when you've already hit failure with strict form. A little momentum can help you push past your limits and squeeze out those final reps that would have been impossible otherwise. Just don't get it twisted, cheat reps are a finisher, not a strategy. So if your biceps aren't growing, it's not because you're cursed, it's because you're missing the details. Train them with variety, prioritize them, respect the angles. Own your form, track your progress, and most importantly, Earn the pain that leads to growth. Because let's face it, anyone can pick up a dumbbell, but not everyone trains their biceps like they actually want them to grow. If this video helped, drop a comment and tell me which mistake you're fixing today. And don't forget to subscribe because we're just getting started. See you in the next one.